to start today's look off with the eyes. So we're starting first with a transition shade. This is just a yellow from the Morphe 35B palette. As you can see, I'm just blending it from the inner to outer corner using a large fluffy brush and just getting that all in the crease. Over that shade, we're not going with an orange, and this is again from another Morphe palette, the 35O. And now we're going to go with even darker and a little bit lower. So as you can see, we're just building up the colors from lightest to darkest. Now I'm going in with a darker shade. This is more of a burnt orange shade. And a little bit lower, and then even lower, I'm adding a darker shade. This is from Melt Cosmetics in the shade Enigma. And as you can see, it's really building up that smokiness of the eye. Now in just the very crease, I'm going to be putting this black shade. This is from Melt Cosmetics in Dark Matter, but you can use any black that you have. The key to a smoky eye is to blend, blend, blend. So as you can see here, I'm just going back and forth with no product on the brush or from the brushes earlier and just blending and blending and blending until I get the desired look that I want. It's okay if you go out in the lid a little bit because we're going to be cutting that crease as you'll see here. I'm just using Soft Ochre Paint Pot from MAC, but you can use a concealer. And I'm just really cutting out where I want the brightest shade to now go, as you'll see. I just used my finger to place that yellow that we originally used all over the lid. You really want to pack it on so it's nice and opaque. Sometimes when you use a makeup fluffy brush to put it on, it doesn't look as thick and as opaque as it should. Now I'm going in to do some eyeliner. I'm just doing a wind look today. Filming with an eyeliner is kind of hard because you have to get really close to the mirror, so I'm sorry this isn't super a good angle, but I went ahead and popped on lashes as well. Next, I'm going in with this Tarte Holiday Kit. It is such a good kit, you guys. It has highlighters, a few of them, but mostly blushes. I'm using just that orange shade and then adding a highlight. I love the highlight in this kit. It's such a good kit, you guys. Now to the whole body painting. We're going to start by just actually mapping out with just an eyeliner pencil where I want things to be. I'm trying to map out the skull portion of it now, and then you'll see where the jacket is later. I'm trying to get this ombre effect to go with the fire theme, and so I'm using a few different Mehron water activated paints. I'm starting with Red Berry, which is essentially a red. I'm also using Foxy, which is an orange, and then just natural yellow. So I first start with the red on all of the areas, and then I'll add the orange, and then I'll add the yellow. The biggest key here is that water activated paints, they do dry fairly quickly, so what I do is I place down the color and then I use a small blending brush and I just add water to it, and then I kind of mold it all together so that it blends. That I think is the key to these water activated paints. They're not cream, so they're not going to blend easily, but you just have to kind of work with it. You can use a beauty blender or whatever you see fit, but when you add more water to it after it's been placed down, it helps to kind of mute the color, blend it to really get that ombre effect, and that's what we're going for. You can see me using the technique here. It's going to just give it a little bit more ombre to kind of match with that fire look of the Ghost Rider. So once you have blended out all of the places for the skeleton, you're actually going to fill in the corners with this black Mehron Paradise paint. You could essentially just do your whole body at this time. I just really wanted to separate the neck part where the t-shirt or background would be to where the leather jacket's going to go. So I focused on just the neck area now and filling in those blank areas. And then I moved to the face, and we'll come back to the actual jacket part after that. I wanted the teeth of the skeleton to be that ombre effect as well, since I wanted to look like fire. So I started with those same three shades, the orange and Foxy, the Red Berry, and then also the yellow. And I just kind of placed where I want the teeth to be. As you can see, I just start to add shading to it. I added the yellow and then the red, and then I use again just a wet brush just to blend it all together to give it that ombre effect. So I'll let you go ahead and watch and see how I actually blend it all together. These kind of look like candy corn teeth, and I love how they came out. So now we'll move on to the rest of the skeleton part. I'm just going to fill in with all the lighter shades, again still using those same themes of the yellow, red, and orange. And then I'm going to start to shade and really blend all these areas out. You don't necessarily have to put the yellow in between the teeth because I ended up just doing that all black anyways, but I wanted to show you what it looks like if you wanted to keep it just yellow. Again, going with that ombre effect, you're going to just blend, blend, blend. Darker parts are going to be in the back where there would be more shadow, and up front where it's a little bit lighter, you would have the yellow. I did add a little bit of eyeshadow to this just to give it even more depth to the look. Once you've added all the colors to the skull, you're just going to fill in all of the blank spaces with the black. So you can see I'm doing the sides of the cheek, also my ears. Don't miss the ears. You can do whatever you want with them, but I just put a little bit of black on them. And then I just filled in all the areas around the skull just to create this mask from my cheeks down. I'm filling in around the mouth where it would be the darkest, and then in between the teeth as well. So I'll let you just watch where I fill everything in. I stuck to the same pattern for the nose. I just outlined where I wanted the nose to be, and then I went in with those same colors with the red, orange, and yellow to create that ombre effect. The whole look really brought together and was cohesive because I did the ombre for all of the spaces, including the eyes. We're now going to move back to the leather jacket. I'm using this silver paint from Mehron to create the chains. I love how this came out and it was super easy to achieve, you guys. I'm basically just outlining where I want them all to go. Use a reference picture if you find that easier, but I literally just looked at it, started, and it came out awesome. I love how this looks. You'll add some more dimension to them later, but you honestly don't even need to. It looks so great just using those shades. I got these spikes from Party City. They were, I think, $1 on clearance. That's also what I'm using in my hair. They're actual little barrettes, and I cut them off for the two sides. And now I'm going back into the actual chains themselves. I'm trying to use black eyeshadow to really create the depth of where the shadows would naturally be. And now I'm going in with the last thing, which is the highlighting. This is really what brings the leather jacket all together. I'm using Mehron Clown White, and I'm going to start really outlining where I want the highlights to be. And then also I'm going to draw these zippers. So I'm using that silver that we used earlier just to outline. You can see that zipper was a little crooked because I was doing it backwards, but just try and make it as straight as you can. The zipper would be on the flap of the jacket as well as the two sides. So once you place down the actual zipper, you're then just going to give it a little bit more detail. As far as the highlighting, I usually just place down a lot of the white cream paint and then just blend it out with my finger. So that is what you'll see me doing here, is placing it all out first and then continually blending it. You can also use a beauty blender. That does help, but it's just really hard to clean afterwards and get that cream out. Going back to give that zipper a little bit more detail, I'm just using a black paint. You can use an eyeliner just to give it those little ridges that a zipper would have. I'll also do some highlighting on those as well, but I wanted to create the actual zipper. Now I'm going in just on the arms, and now I'm using a beauty blender to blend out on the arms, and it really gives some dimension. So that's the overall look, you guys. I hope that you like how it came out. If you did, feel free to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't done so already. If you have any other requests, feel free to write those in the comment section below as well. Thank you, guys.